Hello, we're back. And this video is dedicated to all the people that feel like they're different, like they never really fit in, like they just can't seem to get themselves to live a normal life, that the regular careers never worked out for them, that the relationships that they've always wanted have never worked out for them, that they've always felt like they're on the outside looking in, especially in their younger years in school, having a hard time fitting into a friend group, finding good friends. This video is for those people because I want you to know that you are here to do something that won't let you fit in. That not being able to fit in, not finding your belonging with the crowd is actually what saves you. And not trying to shrink yourself, mold yourself, crumble yourself into something that makes you acceptable, not doing that is what will save you. Because the people who can't seem to fit in, who can't seem to get a regular life going, the stable career, the partnership, the kids, the house, who can't seem to get that no matter if they want it, they're not meant for that. Because those people are the ones that can feel that they're meant to be doing something different with their lives. They're meant to be doing something more. They're meant to be clearing all the baggage from their ancestral lineage. But they're also meant to be helping other people do the same thing, that they're meant to be freer than the rest of society. And that the people who come in with these missions to do something big, to be someone completely different, are also the ones that come in with all the baggage that makes it hard to do that. That they come in with the fear of being seen, the visibility wounds, the shame, the unworthiness, the needing to fit in, the need to people please, like everything that shrinks you and makes you small. So the people that come here with all those wounds that make you small are realizing that then that is tied to your greatest purpose. So that if you have a fear of being seen, if you have a fear of being rejected for who you really are, if people see it, then your greatest purpose is on the other side of that, to be seen for who you really are, to be on a stage, to be making videos, to be writing a book, to allow people to really see you. So that if you are here to do something more with your life, and you feel like it's been hard and scary to do that, if you feel like you've been blocked from living a normal life, it is all a part of your divine design. There is nothing wrong here. It is not an issue of you not being capable, you not being good enough, you not being worthy enough, you're not lazy. It's that you haven't tapped into the parts of yourself that are ready to do the thing that you are really here to do. You haven't lit the fire inside of you enough that it drowns out all the baggage of what other people think, of what other people are doing, of what the expectations of our parents are, of what society says you need to be doing in order to live a fulfilling life. But that just on the other side of all of that is your true self waiting for you to step into the version of you that is here to do the things that you're here to do, to speak your truth, to be a guide for other people, to assist the evolution of this planet in some way, to express yourself, to create your art, to be love, to be light, to not only heal yourself, but show others that it's possible too, to share your unique story from your unique perspective about that thing, so that other people can find themselves in you. But you have to see that if you're here to do something special, something extraordinary, something out of the ordinary, then if you're trying to fit yourself into a small life, if you're trying to be with the person that really isn't meant for you because you feel like it's enough, like they're safe, if you're trying to keep yourself in careers that are stable, if you're trying to keep yourself small, you're going to find that it's never really going to work. That there is always going to be some kind of block to you living the life that you think you should be living. Because the truth is, there is something else for you. So that if you can see that rejection is a divine redirection, that rejection is a divine protection, then you have to actually give some grace and some humor to all the times that you tried so hard for something, but it just didn't work. That if you let go of the grip that you have on the life that you think you should be living, on the version of you that you think you should be, and you actually surrender to who you are, you surrender to your inner voice, if you start living truthfully and authentically for what you want to be doing, if you start trusting more in the process, if you start allowing the unseen to guide you, then you realize that all of the false beliefs, the false identities of what you thought you should be living, of who you thought you should be, they were never going to be allowed for you. It was a shoe that was never going to fit. So the very plain and simple message is, stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop trying to work the career that other people have because you think that'll make you happy. Stop trying to have the type of family life and relationship that you see other people having because you think that that would make you happy. What other people have is what they want. That is what is in their life. And whether it makes them happy or not is up to them. But you have to decide what is going to make you happy? What is going to light your spark up? And then you have to decide, are you okay with people not understanding you? Are you okay with your loved ones not getting it? Are you okay with living a life that looks different from other people in your life? Are you okay with being maybe judged by people from your high school if they see what you're doing online? Are you okay with standing on your own? Because if you're not, then it's going to be really hard to truly live a life that is for you. But are you willing to do that? That's the question. Because I get that it's hard. It's hard for all of us if we've been living in programs that want to keep us in the pack of people to feel safe. But if you want to wait till you get to the end of your life and realize that it was all just a projection, it was all fake, it was all just to please other people and fit in, if you wait until then, you're going to realize that you never lived your life truly for you. And nobody wants to get to the end of their life regretting not doing something. Because I can tell you, you'll never regret doing something. The regrets are always in never trying. So that it's okay to be seen trying. It's okay to go out and be embarrassed. It's okay to be an amateur at something. All that really matters, though, is that you're doing it from the call of your soul. Is that you're doing it because it feels right to you, because it feels like a passion, because it feels like a divinely aligned purpose, rather than doing something out of obligation, doing something out of fear, doing out of something out of thinking that, well, someone told me to do this, so this is what I should be doing something because you're copying somebody else because you haven't found your own path yet. So let other people do their own thing. Let them have the nuclear family and have the jobs if that feels right for them. But if that doesn't feel right for you, then you have to ask, what is causing you to want that? Is it because you truly want it, or is it because you see someone else having it and you think that it would make you happy living their life? But I can tell you that if you're watching this video, if you were called to it by the thumbnail, by the title, if you feel like there is still something more for you in this life, then you're not going to be able to settle into things that aren't you. You're not going to be able to stay in that relationship that you settled by lowering your standards. You're not going to be able to stay in that career that you chose out of safety. You're not going to be able to stay with the group of friends because you liked feeling chosen, because it's easier to have a lot of friends than feel like you need to be by yourself. It's easier to stay with your family and the ones that you've always known, even if they're abusive, even if you can't be yourself, than to walk away and rock the boat. So living a small life can feel easier at first, but it's like, at what cost? It's the same analogy for our health, that it can feel easier in the moment for the quick hits of dopamine, scrolling, junk food, not exercising. But in the long run, what is going to feel so much better for us is if we make the minor, hard decisions in the moment, to make the effort to eat better, to go to sleep earlier, to put the phone away more often, to invest ourselves in a routine that is good for our longevity, for our health. It's the same thing for our life's purpose. that it's always going to feel harder at first because we're not used to it. But the more that you start to live your life from a place of honesty, of authenticity, of really listening to yourself and not what you think you should be doing based on other people, then you'll get yourself into a rhythm where it feels easier because you're more practiced at listening to your truth and your intuition. You're more practiced at being yourself. So then it doesn't feel like you have to take off a mask in order to be yourself anymore. Then it doesn't feel exhausting to live your life because you're always performing a version, or you're always trying to chase something that's just out of your reach. That it's actually about settling. It's about surrendering to who you really are, to what you really want, to the life that you really want to be living that's aligned for you, to the relationships that are aligned for you, to the career that is aligned for you, that lights you up. But again, recognize that you're not being punished if your life hasn't panned out in the way you thought it would. That sometimes the delay, the redirection, is exactly what was supposed to happen. That if you are meant for something more, meant for something different, and you have come here with inherited blockages to allow yourself to get to that place of being seen, of living your purpose, if you have those blocks, that is also no accident. That everything in this life is by divine design. We have free will and we have choice, but the way that we set up this human experience is masterful. So that then you get to go through experiences. You get to have awakenings where you start to dissolve the identities that were placed in your path that kept you from doing the exact thing that you came here to do. And that by going through the experience of having that emotional block, of having the fear, the hesitation, the shame, the unworthiness, that was all part of the plan. That it's never just about getting the thing and doing it, but it's always about what you learn along the way of how you got there, of how you started in a place of disconnection from your true self. You forgot who you were, forgot why you're here. We all have our memories wiped, but that you found your way back and you got through the hurdles of what had been stopping you, realizing it was all false. It was all you trying to live somebody else's life. It was all inherited from your ancestors. It was all inherited from society. But that each time you overcame it and you got closer to your vision of what it is that you want to be living, you got closer to the true essence of who you are. And that in that expansive process of going through experiences that you didn't like, of experiencing all the contrasts that this life offers, then you get to your destination, because there really is none, but you get to the place where you're living truthfully, where you're living authentically as you are, and you've gone through everything that could take you there, that you've taken all that wisdom with you now. You see, that it was all part of the plan. Nothing is by accident. So if you're watching this, just know that there's nothing wrong with where you are. You're not incapable. You're not lazy. But you just have experiences that you have yet to go through, that you need to push yourself a little bit more in the direction of where you really want to be going, and push yourself out of the way of obligation, out of wanting to impress people, right? That the more energy and attention you put into where it is that you want to be going and what feels truthful and what feels right for you, the more that you practice being genuine in yourself, the more that you practice trusting in the divine process, then the less energy you feed into the other side of that equation, which is all ego. It's all fear. It's all needing to fit in, needing to feel safe, right? So I can guarantee to you, sweet angel, that on the other side of whatever is blocking you is the life that you're supposed to be living, that you're ready to start living. But it's about surrendering to what hasn't been working anymore, to realizing that the elements of your old life, of your old identity, cannot come with you to where you're going next. So that the process of shedding everything that is not true can feel difficult, right? If we're dramatizing it, if we're not trusting in the process, if we don't understand why it's happening. But if we can remember that that process of shedding is allowing us to become who we really want to be, if we can hold the vision of what's on the other side, if we can remember who we are, then the collapse, then the shedding of all that was isn't as dramatic, it isn't as painful, and it doesn't hold us back any longer. That we don't listen to the fear anymore, but now we turn to trusting ourselves, trusting our vision for what we want our life to be, for what we're now ready to experience. And that the more that we unlock these parts of ourselves that are ready to be expressed, the more that we allow others to have that unlocked within themselves too. And that is how we change the world. That is how we all become more of who we are, by showing others that it's safe to do so. That if people don't understand you, if they reject you, it's okay. Then they weren't meant to be in your experience. But ultimately, we have to live our life on our terms, in accordance with who we are, not on the expectations of our society, of our parents, of our spouse, of our friends, not under the watchful eye of the people that we think are watching us, but really living authentically for who we really are. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for being here. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, and I'll be back in a few days with another topic. Bye.